Hello, my name is Gabe the Babe.
Otherwise known as Ellie.
Ellie Presco.
I am Nina Arnone.
Yeah, you are.
I
And
didn't
welcome
even
to
plan
Office Hours.
that.
Hi.
Hey,
Are you
how
sitting
are
on
you?
your bed?
Yes,
Very nice. You look extra cozy.
I am extra coz.
I don't know why I said it like a surfer, but I guess I
Extra
gotta stick by it.
coz.
Extra, you look extra cozy. Oh my god, my brother is calling me.
Do you want to answer? Good
Uh,
ringtone.
yeah, thank you so much. Okay, hold on. Seth,
Ellie,
what's up?
hello.
You called
You
me,
seem.
Seth.
Are you mad at me?
No, I'm not mad at you. Can I call you back in like an hour?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
This sucks. So it really scared me.
Sorry. I didn't mean for it to be cryptic. Okay. Anyway, our relationship is horrible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dead to me. Um,
First time you heard from him in years.
in years, decades,
And you said, "Can I call you back?"
Well, this might be the first time we're finally able to make amends. I want to make it right.
That's fair. Yeah,
So,
as you should.
yeah. So, are you preparing to take a nap?
Getting my coffee. The
I
exact
see.
opposite.
I see. I see. Oh, you know what? So yesterday was a fucking day from hell. But
What?
I mean, it just was a lot. That's really all it was.
What was
Um
yesterday?
so yesterday I took Stephanie to the vet.
Oh,
Um
yes, yes.
and she's for all intents and purposes fine. Already the day was kind of a little crazy because I forgot to get a stool sample so they can like test it for like worms and stuff like that. And I was
Yeah.
really kicking myself because I was like, getting her poop is the easiest thing in the world to do. I know exactly where to go.
Yeah.
It's in the
To
same
be,
spot.
yeah.
But it was such a hassle to get her into the carrier that like once we got her in, we were like at the risk of running late. And so I was like, really quick, since this will be uploaded to YouTube, are you cool with with folding
Yeah,
your
I don't
laundry?
care.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't
just
care.
wanted I just consent's important.
Yeah.
Um
That's what I was thinking about it before, because I was like, oh, I'll do it before, and you were like, you could do it during, and I was like, yeah, why not?
okay, yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's a cute pair. Where's it from?
Airy.
Oh man, that's cute. I like the pattern.
Yeah. They're my
Oh,
Christmas ones.
that's adorable. I love that. Um
Thanks.
but so I just want to check in, make sure we're all good.
Yeah.
That everything's kosher.
I'm
But
a busy lady.
no, I'm not
I will
judging.
need to multitask.
I'm not judging. I think it's honestly it's cozy for our listeners. I feel like, you guys are just sitting with us. This is like what it was like in college. I would sit on Arnoni's bed in her dorm and just chat with her while she did the first load of laundry in months.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
that's how our friendship really blossomed.
And I've
Um
grown since. This is
yeah,
the first one in a week, 2 weeks.
that's that is a massive improvement. It really truly is.
1 week, but the one before it was just my sheets, so I don't know if that counts.
Yeah. Oh my god, I had to clean my sheets because um 2 days before, the day before my hellish day, I ruptured my eardrum. I've
Oh
never done that
yeah,
before.
you tell that story.
Darwin called and said it's a miracle that you're still here. I know you're not supposed to use Q-tips, but I I'm very waxy. I'm just going to say it. I'll say it live. I'm a waxy individual. It's genetic. Both of my
They're
parents are
coming for you.
waxy. They're coming for me. The wax
For
people are
you and your
trying to
wax.
cancel me. So I've been,
You
I've
come
been
from a waxy breed.
I
Is that what you
do.
just said? You said your
No,
parents
I
are
wish I
waxy.
did. I wish I said I was from a waxy breed. Oh my god, that's genius. No, but anyway, I've been using Q-tips for a long time, and I'm not an idiot. I know to stop when it starts slowing down, you know?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
it starts resisting, I know
When
that,
you've
like a 16-year-old boy, I know it's time to pull out. Like, I'm aware. I'm not a fool. But
unlike
I
a 16-year-old boy.
yeah, yes. Um however, I was stepping out of the shower, as I've done for years every day.
Yeah.
And
Trained for this.
trained for this. This is routine. And I reach for a Q-tip, and I just, go in to the left ear, do a swirl on the surface, and then I pull out just to make sure, the gunkies are gone.
Yeah.
But as I'm doing the swirl, I slip on my tile floor. My tile floor is like, what did I say in the text? Like shark skin.
Shark
It's
skin.
like
Shark skin.
smooth. It's like sand, smooth one direction, like grainy on the way back. It's crazy. So I slip because I had washed my hair that day. So like it was just things, things were dripping, and not the fun way, in a very routine, by the book way. And the Q-tip went in, and it went in deep. And
Shivers.
it hurt so bad. And how I knew I was fucked was I literally bent over the sink in like pain and shock, pulled my hand away, and when I pulled my hand away, the Q-tip was still in my ear. So I pulled it out, and like things were different. Like, you know that pain where like your body's kind of like, we talked about this actually last week with ovarian cysts, where your body's kind of like, I think we might have to pass her out. Like, I don't think she's going to be able to handle this. I was texting one of my friends who's in Japan right now, and I was like, something horrible has just happened. But funnily enough, with the time zone difference, they were the only ones who were awake.
Yeah,
to like,
it was like 8 a.m.
yeah, well, it was no, it was at night. It was like later at night. And Sammy was at work, so I was alone.
Yes. Yeah, because you sent the text in the morning that you were like, I'm still bleeding.
Yes. But it wasn't bleeding at the time, which was weird. Like, when it first happened, it just really hurt. It definitely was throbbing. But life went on as normal. I watched the entire Mother God documentary on HBO Max. Highly recommend. It's fucking crazy.
I don't know what that is.
It's
so many documentaries.
I'm going through a phase right now with them.
You should do a YouTube episode ranking them.
Oh, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, it is. You should talk about.
I should.
The top 5 and the worst 5.
Yeah. Well, all of the worst 5 are going to be the ones that didn't actually have victims consent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also, there's also, as we know, some that do have the survivors' consent and are just buck wild and untamed and uncut in how they edit. But yeah, I watched the whole thing. It was insane. She was drinking colloidal silver to try and cure her apparent alcoholism. She turned blue and died. Like, it's...
Oh.
This also, I thought, with how people were talking about this documentary, that it was like a cult from like the 70s and the 80s. This happened in 2019. She died in 2021.
I feel like I remember this about the woman turning blue.
I had never heard about it.
This.
Yeah, I had never heard about it, and I just assumed it was a cult from like the 20th century that I didn't know about. And turns out we were graduating college.
Yeah.
But so I watched the whole thing. The ear's a little sore, but it's like whatever. I go to bed. And I'm itching my ear because it's got what I thought at the time was water stuck in it. And I was like, fuck, this is so annoying. So I literally, 4 a.m. hits. I sit up because I'm like, did I get it clogged in the shower? Like, I was a child prone to swimmer's ear infections. I also had tubes. So this is very familiar territory or so I thought at the time. And so I have like one of those like baby booger, like, squeezy things, the suction thing. Yeah. And I use it. I probably shouldn't do this, but I use it to get water out of my ear, to like suck it out, or like if there's fluid stuck. So I start doing it, And I'm like, and it's like 4 a.m. I haven't turned on the lights. I'm just like doing it, squirting it
It's
out into
like-
the sink. Because the ear's clogged and it's driving me crazy. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to like, and I was like, okay, this is really weird. I'm like 5 rounds of sucking this out and it's not draining. So then I turn on the lights
Oh my god.
and the sink is covered in blood.
Oh my god.
And I look at the booger thing and I'm like, and that thing is covered in blood. And I'm like, oh, so the reason why it's, the source is not draining is because it's me. I'm the drain. I'm the fluid. It's not a foreign fluid in my ear. It's me. It's my DNA. So
Oh my god.
So I text my friend who's in Japan,
Yeah.
and he's awake, thank Christ. Because I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I turn, I look at my bed, my pillow covered in blood, like just like
with like the emoji. That was
true,
so funny.
truly, like DIY true crime. Like the universe knew I was into true crime. They were like, let's paint you a picture via your own blood. And I didn't quite put it together, except for the fact that the only thing I put together is I was like, okay, this was the ear. This was the Q-tip ear. And thank God for time differences, because this motherfucker was wide awake well into his day, being a day ahead. And was like, I'm pretty sure you ruptured your eardrum, but you should probably go
Get
to a
that checked
doctor.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, I can only help you like verbally. That's all I can do. What with being in Japan and all. And so I call my mom at 4 a.m. That was a mistake. Springs up out of bed.
Yeah.
She goes, "Hi, is everything okay?" And I was
Obviously
like,
not.
I'm okay, but this is what's going on. And she offered me support, said go to urgent care as early as you can.
I also
which-
feel like rupturing your eardrum is like a serious thing, but I guess not.
So it's, from what I read on the internet, it's a very fine line. Like, it's an injury that 9 times out of 10 can like heal itself and be completely back to normal. But the thing that makes it more severe is because it's such a delicate structure. It's very prone to getting infections when it's ruptured, and that's when like people need to get surgery. And so I go to urgent care the next morning, and I explain to them what happened, and it's humiliating because they're like,
that's dumb.
they're like, why? He was like, why are you using Q-tips? I was like, I've been doing this for years. I know
How else
what
do I
to
clean
do.
my ears?
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, there's ways, but like, I have a lot of crevices. There's no way that like hot compressed towel is gonna get into all my waxy crevices in the way that a Q-tip can. So I said I wouldn't do it again. I did it again later that day because he was looking at my ear to see, like, to look at the eardrum and see what the extent of the damage was, because that's another thing too. It depends on like how large the rupture is. And
that makes sense.
so after his spiel of telling me Q-tips are horrible, don't use them, he goes, that being said, I need to go in with a Q-tip because I can't see your eardrum. The blood clot's too big. And I was like, that's what I've been saying.
That's what I've always said.
I famously have always been pro Q-tip. Yeah. When I say I'm pro Q, people get the wrong idea. They're like, what? That's a different vibe than we thought she was all about. I've lost a lot of friends that way. But so the reason why my hearing was impaired was because there was a huge blood clot in my ear canal that was blocking it, but it was dried. So he went in with a Q-tip and basically just like scooped it out, and it like popped, and I literally like shuddered in ecstasy because I could hear again. I hadn't been hearing all morning. The physician's assistant came in and she was like, and hasn't affected your hearing at all, right? And I literally go, what? I didn't hear her. So when he got that blood clot out, I was like, do it again. Because it was like euphoric. He basically was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna assume that it's a rupture just based on the blood and like what I'm looking at. We're gonna put you on antibiotics just to make sure like everything's healing correctly, but then when you're done with the antibiotics, follow up with a specialist. I was like, okay, phenomenal. And then that day I found out that my parents' health insurance plan stops at 25. So I was like, I was strutting in with my parents' insurance card. I threw it on the table like it was like an Amex. I was like, charge this. They were like, that's a Panera membership card, ma'am. We can't do anything with that. So then this happened, the day before yesterday. So then yesterday, I wake up. My ear is still bleeding, but it doesn't hurt.
Damn.
We get Stephanie to the vet. And Stephanie has an abnormally large amount of gingivitis for a cat her age. I think it's because she's a street baby. And she's just prone to weirdness. And then the other thing that I had concerns about was like when she purrs a lot, she drools. And it's not like pools of drool, but it's like quite a few drops. And so I asked the vet about it and they were looking at her and she was like, I think she's just special. I was like, okay, well, great. Because it's fucking gross and it gets everywhere. It's like a boxer. She drools like a Saint Bernard and she's 8 pounds.
So gross.
But apparently it's not life-threatening. So I was like, okay, she's not going to drown in her own spit. That's good. But like there was like a cleaning kit. There were labs that needed, like she needed her blood drawn. It was all very routine and I'm very glad I did it and she's worth it. But the vet bill was $530.
Insane.
So I literally went up and I was with Sammy and they just like very casually read the price and I went, oh! Stephanie's like in the carrier like holding up her middle finger because she hates the vet so much. She was like, we could have avoided all of this, you idiot, if you just hadn't taken me. And so, and mind you, this is like another brief update. I officially quit my retail job. I got the last paycheck this morning. It's gone. It went straight to the fucking cat.
Stephanie, yeah.
Like it went, it's disappeared. It's as if I never worked there because the vet bill had to be addressed. I was in a little bit of shock. Like obviously it's fine and obviously she's worth it. And I love that thing. But the fact that it costed more than her spay threw me for a little bit of a loop. I was like,
that's crazy.
She just was due for a bunch of tests and I thought it was better to just like fit it all into one day because she hates the vet. And ultimately I think that was the right move because now like shit's done. She doesn't have to go back for like 6 more months. And then in 6 months it's like a third of the amount of tests and vaccines.
That's
so,
good.
It's fine. But I just kind of was like walking around like a newborn horse a little bit and just like shaky-legged shock. And then of course she's pissed at me for the rest of the day. So I'm just like,
yeah, of course.
And I get it, but I felt bad and I don't expect her to understand, but I was like, you're so expensive. Thank God for pet insurance, let me tell you that. And so this is all to say that then I had to go to the dentist. So one of Stephanie's things was I have to start brushing her teeth with seafood flavored toothpaste, which of course poetically I open this tube, it fucking explodes all over my hand. The toothpaste is brown, like it smells like the sea. It's horrific. And she already wants nothing to do with me. And I'm like, the vet told me like, do a minute a day in an ideal world. In the real world, do what you can. Try every day. So she already was laying in her cat bed, innocent, completely unaware. I go to pet her. She purrs. I shove the thing in her mouth. She's like, I like have to pick her up. Your sister's on the couch watching Scandal, laughing at me, not helping at all. And I'm just like, I'm shoving this toothbrush in her mouth and I feel so bad, but I'm like, we have to do it. We have to do it. And we did it. But then she hid from me for the rest of the night. I felt terrible, but I was like, you
Aw.
need to do this. Like, we have to do this. And they gave me like ways, and I say shove. I held her and very gently stroked her teeth with the seafood flavored
Yeah.
brush. Like, she's fine. But then I had to go to the dentist.
Yeah.
And I had to get 2 cavities filled. I've never had cavities in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this was my first cavity filling.
Wow.
So I fucking
never
hated
had
it.
I never had one.
I never had them. It was such a good streak. It's because it's anyway. Whatever.
If it helps,
fine.
what do you mean? What is it because? It's because
Well, it's because I grind my teeth in my sleep, and I ground through some, but not all of my sealant in my molars. So food would get like hooked under the sealant where I couldn't reach it with a brush, but then it stayed under the sealant and it festered, and I got cavities that way.
If it helps, the reason I haven't ever had a cavity, it's because I don't go to the dentist. So
that does help. That helps me a lot. Yeah, that is helpful.
Makes you feel better.
It does. It makes me feel much better. It makes me think you probably do have cavities.
Yeah, probably. So this
but-
isn't me saying I'm better. I don't know the experience of having cavities either. Yet.
Right. Because you're right. Because there's no reported case
There's
for
no
you.
proof. Yeah.
Yes. But so I go. I don't know what to expect at all. I'm like, and I hate the dentist, but I'm sitting in the chair, minding my own business. I go to this very like bougie dentist in Cambridge that I started going to like 2 years ago. Well, actually, it was Sammy who sent the link.
Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah.
Both of those things make sense. Everything you said in the last 30 seconds made perfect sense. I go to a bougie dentist. Yeah, of course you do. Actually, it was your sister Sammy who found it. Yeah, of course it was.
So this entire anecdote was just by the book for you.
This is just like, yeah.
Yeah. So I go to it.
I could have told you this story, frankly.
It's so true. But so I go, but it's like every time I've been to this dentist, everyone there is really nice. It's poorly run. That's what I'll say.
How is it so bougie? Like, do they give you a pedicure in the
They-
middle? Like, while you're in the chair? Like, what's going on?
A lot of it's honestly the majority of it is purely aesthetic based. They have a lot of those like LED light wall signs and like they like but then the thing is you fill out your online profile and you can say like what flavor fluoride you want, what there's like the other thing that they use, like what flavor you want for that. What is that?
I made this. It's a donut.
That looks delightful. That looks so good.
Yeah. Yeah, have some.
I would love
Anyway.
to.
Well, you have cavities, so you can't.
Not anymore, bitch. But so I and then they also ask like if you want to watch TV, what TV do you want to watch? And I always pick Blue Planet because I'm like I just want to look at whales living their lives and be distracted. But then so the first time I went there, the TV wasn't working. It was just the TV was broken. So I didn't get to watch Blue Planet. And then the second time I went, the headphones weren't working. So I couldn't watch Blue Planet. Then the third time I walk in, this is yesterday, the TV says, "Hello, Julia. We've planned the whole suite for you." I was like, am I in the right room? I was. They just had the wrong patient info up. It's like
that place doesn't sound very bougie at all. But it does. I will tell you, it does sound like the type of place that Sammy would find.
Well, they definitely was like a TikToker when,
It's a
and it was
TikTok, yeah.
aesthetically pleasing. And like, listen, it is a legitimate dentist. Like, it's not like I'm in like the back alley, like when I adopted my rat. Like I, like so I still go because I don't really know where else to go. Someone recommended a place to me, but that's because they hate fluoride. They're very anti-fluoride, and this dentist is also anti-fluoride.
Not good
So
to be anti things.
Unless it's Rihanna's album, then that's a great anti.
It's the only anti I'll allow.
That's fair. But so I lay down the chair. The dentist comes in. I've seen him before. He's great. He's really nice. He's the only reason I'm still at that fucking place. He's the only one who's prepared for anything.
He
So
doesn't even watch TV, so he's like, "We have a TV here."
Yeah. And he's like, "All right, like, you know, this is very by the book. We're just gonna lay you back." I'm like, "Awesome." He's like, "Then we're gonna numb you up." I was like, "What?" And
you're already breathing heavy, thinking of the memory of it.
I checked my heart rate and it was at 150 because I didn't know. No.
Oh, in that moment.
In the chair. Because I didn't know that with cavities, when they get filled, it reaches a level that requires numbing.
Yeah.
And I've had Novocaine injected twice before, I guess, when I had teeth pulled when I was 11. And I hate it. It's so horrible. I hate needles so much.
It's not comfortable, and you have to keep your mouth open.
Yes, and that was the issue.
Instinct is like to close your mouth. Yeah.
And they had to wedge something in my mouth to keep it open because I kept closing it. I also have a small mouth, small teeth, small mouth.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, it's not that uncommon. That's why they have that thing to wedge your mouth open.
I mean, yeah,
like,
it wasn't an abnormal thing, but it was literally just like everything in my body was like, close your mouth. This sucks because not only is there the pinch, but then there's that ache. Like you feel the Novocaine going into your like gums and jaw. Yeah, and I started crying. A 24-year-old woman in the chair crying. This lovely like assistant technician. She's there to like hand the dentist like tools and stuff while he's doing this. She can't do any of that because she has to hold my hand and rub my arm. As a 24-year-old, getting Novocaine in. And like I'm trying so hard to be cooperative. I didn't bite him. I didn't do any of that, but I was in the shitter. Like I was mortified, so embarrassed. I was like, I'm about to have to find my own health insurance. And this poor woman can't even do her job because she has to take her 2-year-old daughter to preschool and coax her into the classroom, was the atmosphere we were in. So then they're like, wait a minute and don't swallow. And I go, spitters are quitters. But he goes, just don't swallow. As he says that, I swallow. Like,
oh no.
Because I had to. Because the other thing is, I'm a drooler. So, like...
They would prefer you drool.
Yes, but it was like, the saliva, because I was laying down, was just like slowly going back into my throat, like Dory and Marlin in The Whale. So, like, I swallowed. And, he was like... He was like, oh, don't do that next time. I was like, am I poisoned? What's happened? His level of concern was the like only thing that relaxed me because he wasn't that freaked out, but he was like, don't swallow. I was like, yeah, what? He was like, just, take 2, let's not do that. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, I'm still crying, obviously, at this point. He's like, you did really good, Gabrielle. Like, you did a great job. I was like, I'm sorry. I just really hate needles. He was like, I do too. I was like, it was like they were doing this to a kindergartner. Like, the level of comforting and coaxing, like, I should have been wearing little Skechers. Like, it was ridiculous. So, then we actually get the cavities filled. That part, fine.
Yeah, you're numb. Of course.
Just loud. But the issue was, because it was so loud, hurt my ruptured eardrum.
Oh.
So then that starts throbbing. So now, like, though with one thing not hurting, the other thing started hurting.
Yeah.
Cavities get filled, molars get resealed. I am in the waiting room paying. It's another absurd amount of money to get cavities filled. I'm texting my mom, telling her what happened. I'm like, the technician had to hold my hand. I'm so embarrassed.
She's
And
like,
my
"You should be."
mom texts me back. She goes, ugh, that is embarrassing. I was like, I would have loved comfort in these trying times. I would have loved you being like, oh, I'm so sorry, that happens. You even, Arnoni, had the decency to be like, it hurts getting numbed. I was like, it really does. It does. It hurts a lot.
It's not comfortable.
It's not comfortable at all. My mom being like, oh, I'm just glad I wasn't there to be associated with you.
I think it's so funny that like the doctor probably was like, "Oh, this girl was probably so coddled. That's why she's crying at this." Like, man, she must have had like these
Like
wimpy
granola parents. I know.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then your mom was like, super embarrassing for you.
My mother grew up with 100% Scottish parents. Like, the reason why I am so soft was because I was like, I have to balance the scales.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise there will be no kindness in this house. No gentleness.
Just like they like it.
Yeah. Then the latter part, well, actually, that was the majority of my day. But then last night, I went to a movie with Sammy. And originally, I was going to get Immaculate with Sydney Sweeney. Also, a side note, a conclusion to my hellish day. I originally, Sammy and I have a deal where when we go to a movie, I'll get the food and she gets the alcoholic drinks because everything is so inflated price-wise. It just like evens out.
Yeah.
And I was gonna get what I always get at the movie theater, which is a tequila soda with thousands of limes. And I was like, I don't want alcohol right now. And she was like, how could you even say that?
Blasphemy.
I've never had an icy before in my life.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I you know, I know what they are.
Is it because your mom's against them?
Yeah, because they had them at the Target, and we would always ask, and she just said no, because trans fats, high fructose corn syrup, all that.
Wow.
I'm allowed to have ices now, as a grown-up.
I'm not talking about you.
Oh, I got a cherry one, and it was fucking delicious.
Yeah, they're really good.
So good. I was like, and I'm such a chocolate head, that's the other reason why I haven't really had one, because it doesn't really appeal to me. But I didn't want chocolate. I wanted something like cold in my mouth. And I didn't think I was going to drink the whole thing. I didn't. But they're like probably 30 ounces. And it was like a quarter of the cup was left.
Yeah.
I like guzzled it. But it was delicious. But anyway, this is all to say. It was delicious. The day ended on a good note. But I was like texting and at like 9:30 I like fell asleep because the day was so long.
Yeah.
And so emotionally draining, and I'm dog sitting, so I had to like drive like I had to drive 20 minutes there and back to like feed the dog, walk the dog.
In the middle of this?
In like intermittently, yes, like in between different things.
Oh, busy day. Yeah.
So I was so tired. I mean, great way to end the day, though. A dog and a movie. It's like my two favorite things. So it was all worth it. But it was very taxing, and I fell asleep so early because I was so drained.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Crazy days. Wow.
I know. I got a facial today because I was like, I had some credits left over from this like subscription, and you can just like redeem the credits, and I was like, I need this. It was a good day, but it was very long.
Yeah.
But it was nice. And now I feel like my forehead is so shiny. I'm just like,
yeah, your skin does look really nice.
Thank you so much for saying that. She did a wonderful job. I really liked her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's brushing Stephanie's teeth since?
I've only done it
today.
I haven't done it yet today. I've been like waiting for her to forgive me. She woke up in my I woke up and she was in my bed with me this morning, and we were cuddling for a little bit, so I was like, okay, I think we're good. I think we're fine.
Yeah.
But I was so when we were walking to the vet, Sammy was holding the backpack, which is like the carrier, and then it's got like a window? Bubble window.
Yeah.
It's like a really big window, and so she can like, look around and see.
Yeah.
She is not an outside cat. I don't think she'll ever even be a hybrid. One, because I won't let her, because then I got to give her even more shots. But two, she hates it. Has no interest.
Really?
So
That's
no,
funny. She's always watching.
I know. Oh well, she likes watching it. She doesn't want to be in it. She's like me. Like I, as a gossip, I love talking shit about other people. If it involves me, I would want nothing to do with it. I don't like the drama. I like drama of others, not me. But Sammy had the backpack. We were walking down the stairs, and the building manager, Roberto, who we love, nicest man on the face of the earth. We walk by him. Go like, "Hi, Roberto." He goes, "Hi, Ellie." Sammy goes, "Hi, Roberto." He goes, "Hi, Sam." And then Stephanie goes, "Ah!" And her paw's like on the backpack. Roberto's like, "Oh my god, I didn't even see her." I was like, "We're going to the doctor," so we're so mad. And then like
she's like, "Save me!"
Pretty much, she heard us talking to someone, and it was like when like those kids get kidnapped in the trunk of a car and they punch the taillight. She was like, went through the hole with her little paw and was like, she was like, "Please, get me out of here."
Oh my god.
I know.
And Britta's like,
Yeah, he was so alarmed. I felt so bad. He put his little finger in it though, like in the
Like
the
pet
cat
her?
carrier to pet her, and she
Yeah.
let him do that, and I was like, she's just upset. She's fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And then we're walking down like a very public street that's like one of the busiest streets in Boston, and she's just going, "Ow, ow." Like, I'm like, people are gonna think that we're like grabbing you by your tail and the scruff of your neck, dragging you down.
That's so funny.
It was really funny.
I went to IKEA like a month ago, and there was this guy with his cat, like walking around. He had the cat on a leash.
On a leash?
Yeah, and then I saw him again, and the cat was not in the backpack, kind of like yours, but it was like more boxy. So then, and the cat was on top of the backpack.
That's amazing.
Not in it. And then I saw him another time, and she was like on the leash, and I was like, "This is weird."
I do see like more and more people taking their cats on walks, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
That's not what a cat's for.
You're pushing the wrong button.
They're just like, cats aren't to be domesticated that way, you know?
I guess. I don't know. You know, it's interesting because when I first got her, when she was like 2 months old, I took her to the vet like within 2 weeks, and they asked me if she was outdoor, indoor, or hybrid, and I was like, "Oh, I'm keeping her indoor for now, but you know, if there's health benefits to having her outside, then I'm willing to consider that." And the physician's assistant was like, "Don't do it."
Oh, wow.
I mean, I think it depends on like your region. Like, I mean, my best friend Sam, her and her fiance have 4 cats, and they're all hybrid, but she lives like in farm territory in upstate New York. So
That's
it's different. And I mean, like, they're all like, they obviously all have different vaccines than she does, but like, it's, you know, there's not like vast amounts of pollution and like cigarette stubs and broken glass and cars. Yeah, it's literally like they have a garden in their backyard. And the cats like to go in that and explore. So I think it's dependent, but just being in a city, it's just not a good idea. Like for my lifestyle, and I wouldn't be able to manage it.
It's pretty surprising that people have their cats outdoors living in a city.
I feel like it's weird. Like, I don't know why I think it's weird. I think it's really strange.
It's
like it's one
just get
thing.
a dog.
Yeah. I mean, I feel it. Well, I know I don't get it. I really don't. I know it's like one thing if like some people like our friend Courtney when she had a cat, she had that balcony and he would like hang out on the balcony.
Oh yeah. That's a balcony. That's not an outdoor cat.
Apparently, according to the vet, it does qualify as outdoors.
Well, I'm confident that Courtney didn't get those outdoor shots.
Well, Jerry just wanted to hang out. Jerry was there for a good time.
Right, certainly not a long time.
I know, I didn't want to say it.
To be fair, she bought him in like the last 6 months of his
He was
life,
a senior cat. Yeah,
which is so Courtney.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is very corny because very few people would do that, would like give a senior cat just like the best remainder of their life
6 months,
and
yeah.
have to like deal with the loss so early, but she did it because she just wanted him to vibe and be happy. So
Yeah.
props to her. I don't think I could do it. I love animals, but I think like I wouldn't be able to handle the loss so abruptly. So she's
Yeah.
so much stronger than I am. Like that's amazing. When does school end for you?
The last day of, I think it's May 16th is the last day.
Damn.
My stuff's gonna end up being due sooner. Maybe one paper is the 16th. No, it's the 15th. Yeah, it's the 15th, and then Kyle's graduation is the 16th.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Very nice. I fully submitted my thesis to my reader and my chair a couple
Wow.
days ago. Yeah, very weird.
Did you
And
pick your reader as well?
I did. Yes.
Was it it's another professor?
It was the only other fiction professor that I had. But
Good choice.
it was honestly kind of coincidental because I signed up for the class having like no idea what her teaching style would be. Turns out she loves horror.
Oh, wow.
Which is so funny because she looks and sounds like a fairy from the most classic of fairy tales.
So it's just like you.
No. No, she's not. She looks a lot like freakishly like the actress who played, what was her name? The leader of the Puffs at Chilton in Gilmore Girls. Was it like Franny? Do you remember
Oh,
her?
I know who you're talking about. Yes.
She's
Okay.
like the doppelganger of that.
Oh, wow.
But like not a bitch. Very nice. But like appearance wise, it's kind of crazy. But
Could be her.
it wasn't.
Maybe
I triple checked because I didn't. I was like, for sure, she's got an alias. She has a double life. Like this is just. She looks exactly like her. But so it kind of worked out. I kind of like stumbled into her class and then really liked the way she taught. And so then when I needed a reader, I was like, I feel like you'll like reading my work. It's all dark as fuck. And she was like, I would love to. Feed it to me. So it ended up like for someone who like got the same professor almost every semester, I got pretty lucky with the one time I steered from the usual.
Yeah.
But yeah, my defense is on the 22nd at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, so less than 2 weeks, which is kind of crazy. That day I got the email. The only things that were available were reserving tickets and recording how to pronounce your name. And
Yep.
I did that immediately because I knew that if I didn't, it was going to be Gabriel.
Yeah.
It shouldn't annoy me as much as it does. I think it does because it happens so often. And I'm just like, as an English major, I'm like, it's 2 letters. It's like clearly not Gabriel.
Just a different name, yeah.
It's a different name. Gabriel is E-L, Gabrielle is E-L-L-E. Like
it'd be different if it was like just mispronouncing the name.
Yeah.
They're just like saying a different name.
They're saying a different name. And it happens every time. And I just like, it is semi unfounded, but I get to the point where I'm like, can people not read? Like, am I the only one? And like maybe 5 other people in my life, are we the only ones who know how to read?
Probably.
And like it literally happened to me in urgent care. This girl came in and she was like, Gabriel, and I sat up and I was like, Gabrielle. She was like, oh, sorry, like they're spelled the same. And I almost was like, they're not. But I just was like, oh, it's okay. It happens all the time. Just was like, come on, people.
Yeah.
So, and I couldn't even trust my liberal arts college to get it right. I was like,
No,
I need.
I wouldn't.
So yeah. I think I can't remember when we graduated, which was I liked how they did it because you and I got to walk together, which was really nice.
Yeah, that was
Um,
cool.
Like they had it so like you had like a QR code with your name and you go in the line and then the announcer would go based on the QR code.
Yeah,
So
rather
that
than
was cool.
alphabetical.
Yeah, so then we got to sit together, we got to walk together. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was really nice. I
Yeah.
like that they did that. But I don't remember if I went as Gabrielle or Ellie. I'm trying to remember.
Gabrielle.
Probably. I think for my parents.
Yeah.
But that one, you know what, you're absolutely right because they also that was when they had the voice recorder.
And you did that. I remember you doing that.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm glad they do that now. I say
I
as
do.
the whitest person on the face of the earth, like plenty other people
Yeah,
are
they're not
probably
doing it for you.
No, I know I'm not the face of we did this so we'll be able to pronounce people's names correctly. I know that's not what I'm the poster child for. I'm aware. If you don't know what I look like, you can hear that. Like it's so clear. But it's nice.
Beneficial to you too.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's nice that the dumb little white girls get to have that too, you know?
You can want your name to be pronounced correctly too.
That's true.
You can have that.
Thank
You shouldn't feel bad about that.
Thanks. I'm starting to not.
Okay.
What do you got on tap for this week? School, work, fun, play?
I'm catching up with my work. You know how so I was overwhelmed with work last week
Mm-hmm.
and I was really stressed and I'm catching up to it. You know that feeling when you start crossing things off the list and you just
Yes.
get things done.
Yes.
And you're like, that's where I'm at now. I'm still busy, but that's where I'm at, so that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But this weekend, me and Kyle are going to Cleveland.
That's right. Why are you doing that again? What is the trip? Is it a game? Is that where you're going?
Yeah, to see a game.
Nice.
New stadium.
You don't know anything about games.
No. Well, I know the, the way that baseball is played.
Okay.
I know the rules.
Okay. That's good.
1, 2, 3 home plate, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's just so funny.
Outfield.
The fact that you are going to a baseball game is fucking crazy to me. It's just,
I know.
It only means you have a boyfriend. That's the only explanation.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
the only thing that could bring me.
Yeah.
I know, I'm just figuring out what to wear.
Oh, yeah. Well, a baseball hat, obviously.
I can't wear a baseball hat.
Why? It's cute.
They look ridiculous on me.
No, they don't.
No, you saw me with a baseball cap with long hair. So the big hair was big and long.
Yeah, it's
now
cute.
it's just like a puffball.
Come on, that's adorable.
No, I can't wear it.
Oh,
I
man.
even showed Kyle and he was like, no. He actually laughed at me. I put it on and he laughed.
That's so sad. That's so sad.
Tough for the ego.
Yeah. Oh man, that's like when we thought you couldn't. I actually stand by it. I think for 3 years you couldn't wear lipstick, and then one day you could again.
I think for 21 years I couldn't wear lipstick.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know when your parents let you wear makeup to school. I'm not here to survey that.
No, I wore makeup before. I think, honest to God, my face structure changed. If you
Probably.
look at pictures from high school, I was different.
In more ways than just physically. Wildly different person.
Yeah. Unrecognizable.
In every sense of the word.
But yeah, now I had to figure out what to wear. That's really the biggest thing for me.
That's fair.
And I'm gonna get, pretzels or nachos or something.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about this with Sammy yesterday. Going to a game, couldn't care less about sports. I'm just gonna put that out there. Couldn't care.
Yeah. I'm excited to go.
But the booze and the food, great.
Yeah.
Great stuff. I like a Bavarian cheese pretzel with 6 beers.
Jeez.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's ideal for you.
Well,
You'd be throwing up by the second inning.
I definitely wouldn't be puking up from beer. Are you kidding? No. But I probably would have half the amount of beers that I just said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
that's what I meant.
It wouldn't
if you
be
had 6 beers.
It wouldn't be puke. It would be 8 months pregnant. If you put a pin in my stomach, it's just because the cheese and the carbonation, it's just like bloat of a lifetime. Like we're passing third trimester. It's giving third trimester.
Hopefully it's not $80,000.
It will be, but that's part of the experience. I literally, I when I got my icy at the movie theater, I like waddled up. I was like, I just want an icy. He was like, would that be all? He like hated that I was talking to him.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm all good. He was like, that'll be $8.
Yeah, you get a small and it's bigger than your head.
Yeah, it was $8 though.
You're like the smallest one you have.
Literally, I just said, can I get an icy? It's literally one size because it's so big. Like,
That's crazy.
the large, I don't even want to know. Like
That's
the standard icy size is that of like a big gulp.
Icy should be $2. No more.
It probably
it's literally
it's pennies to make.
yeah, it's like it's the worst for you syrup you could ever put in your body.
And it tastes
And
so good.
ice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I mean, but it's artisanal with that little spinning grate. My God. Love
Yeah.
it. That's what
And
elevates it.
You put the lid on and then you can fill it
First.
all the way up. Yeah.
That's what I did. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, because I've spent 20 years of watching people do it in Target. So I
Yeah.
actually walked up there feigning professionalism and actually killed it because I had seen it done for so long.
Yeah.
So
Ices are great.
yeah, that's the takeaway here. Well, this has been Office Hours because I gotta go and walk a dog. But tune in next
Bye.
time. Bye.